Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you one of the best formations after all the most recent patches basically. Now this 4-2-2-2, as you can see here, a lot of people hate this formation and then there's a lot of people who love this formation, but having used it I found that there's a lot of things that you have to have in this sort of formation to basically make it work, and I'll basically be running you through a few of them, and just letting you know what sort of players to get, what player instructions to use to basically allow this formation to work for you. So I'll run you through this team that I'm using. As you can see, it costs about 20k on PS4, it's probably a little bit less on Xbox One. As you can see, yeah, it's 18k. But in goal I go with Lloris, really good goalkeeper. Centre backs Varane and Koscielny, right back Bellerin, left back Tremolinas. And as for the defence, it doesn't really matter too much, as long as they're solid players, that always helps. Pacey left back, a pacey right back is definitely helpful, just to have a bit of pace down those left and right hand sides, so you can catch up with the fast wingers, and also join in with attacks as well, helps a lot. And then as for my centre defensive midfielders, what I find about this position and this formation is that it helps if they're both very defensive minded players. If they have both good defending and physical stats, that will certainly help this formation work better for you. Obviously you don't want them to have a high attacking work rate, so that you don't want them to get forward these sorts of players. You want to have them have at least like a high or medium defensive work rate. As you can see, Alan here on the right hand side, he has a high defensive work rate, and Casemiro has a medium work rate. So these sorts of players, they both have good defending and physical stats, as you can see, and they'll stay back a little bit more than most centre midfielders, and just protect the defence basically, so that you don't get counter attacked. So that's one of the key points, just to make this formation work basically. And as for the cams, I see a lot of people use centre attacking mids in this formation that are a little bit slow, a bit like Kagawa, those sorts of players, maybe like Ozil, players that aren't the quickest, players in their 70 paces. And when I found that I've used this formation, I find that it only works for me when I use players above like 84 pace, I'd say, because these centre attacking midfielders, they act almost as wingers sometimes. They push very far out onto those left and right hand side, and obviously if you have slow wingers, you're not really going to get anywhere, to be honest. Which is why I've gone with Texera on this left hand side. As you can see, he's got 88 pace, 86 dribbling, so he's a very fast player down that left hand side. And then as for the right hand side, we've got Mertens, who's got 89 pace and 87 dribbling. So he can come inside. He'll do a very good job. These players, as you can see, they've got good shooting and passing stats as well, so it's not like they're just wingers and they're just quick. They've got good all-rounded stats, but also if they do push out wide, they're very quick basically. So they're going to be able to get past the fullbacks and get in crosses and stuff like that, which makes this formation work a lot better in my opinion. Then as for the strikers, obviously you can use whatever strikers work for you best, to be honest. I like to use pacey strikers because I like to get in behind defences a lot. So I use Callejon, he's got 90 pace and 83 dribbling, as you can see here. And I also use Tyson to get that link with Texera, who's also got 90 pace and 85 dribbling. And this team basically, it works very well for me. You've got the two CDMs who sit back and defend, to stop the counter attacks, break up play. And then you give it to these centre attacking midfielders who can attack down the wings. They can come inside. It works very well because they have a lot of freedom. You're not forced into having to go wide if you're playing with wingers, or having to stay centrally if you're just playing with one centre attacking midfielder. These sorts of players can cut inside or go wide. Any sort of, it basically gives them a lot more freedom going forward, which is why I do really like this formation in my opinion. And then as for my strikers, it's always good to have two up top. I find, just so you have two players working together up front, you're obviously going to create a lot more chances and get a lot more goals. And then if you have a fast left back and right back, that helps loads. It just stops you getting attacked down those wings if you've got fast wingers against you. Sorry. But yeah, overall, if you use this formation right, it works very well for you. Left back and right back I like to have on stay back while attacking, especially if they've got a high attacking work rate, just so that they stay back and keep the defence nice and solid, and you'll concede very few goals. And then also for the CDMs, a must have on these two CDMs is to have stay back while attacking on them as a player instruction, just so that they just sit in front of that back four and keep the defence nice and solid basically. As for the cams, you know, you can sort of change this around a bit, but I like to have my cams on freeform going forward, just so that, you know, they have the freedom, as I said earlier, to cut inside or, you know, go up the wing. It just gives them a lot of freedom, you know, to pick up the ball and pick out those strikers with through balls and stuff. Then as for the strikers, you know, whatever works best for you. It depends what sort of strikers you're using. If you're using really quick strikers, like Halloran and Tyson, I'd use a get in behind player instructions on them so that you can get lots of through balls to these guys and have them through on goal a lot. Or if you're using players like, I don't know, Mandzukic, I don't really know who would use him, to be honest, because I hate using players that are really slow. But if you do prefer to use those guys, you know, maybe have like a target man on one of them and maybe have another quick one to play off of him or something, and that might work very nicely for you, to be honest. But yeah, that's the team. You know, it's not very expensive. It will perform very well for you if you use these player instructions. And yeah, that's today's video, guys. Remember to leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe if you're new around here, and I will see you in the next video.